Hello everyone. So in this lecture I am going to start equivalence relation and equivalence classes. Okay. So let us begin with the equivalence relation. So next topic in the continuation is the equivalence relation. So what is equivalence relation? So everybody knows an equivalence relation is a relation that is reflexive, symmetric as well as transitive. So you can write down the definition of equivalence relation. So we can say that a relation which is reflexive, symmetric and transitive all together is known as what? Equivalence relation. So let us consider one example based on this one. Let's say check whether the following relation is equivalence relation or not. So let's say the given relation is what? Let's say x comma y such that mod x minus y is less than 1 on r cross r. That means set of real numbers to set of real numbers. That means what? We can say that x belongs to set of real numbers as well as y belongs to set of real numbers. Now we can say that as x minus x is equals to 0, that is less than 1. That means we can say that x is related to x, isn't it? Therefore we can say that this one is reflexive, isn't it? Next one we can say that, let's say if mod x minus y less than y, then guaranteed we can say that mod y minus x will also be less than 1, isn't it? That means we can say that if x is related to y, then y will also be related to x. That's why we can say that this one is symmetric as well. Next one, let's say, yes, transitivity. For transitivity, let's say 1 is related to 1.9, that belongs to relation R or not? Yes. As well as we can say that 1.9 will be related to the 2.8. Yes or no? Yes, because difference is less than 1, isn't it? Okay, but you only tell me if this is related, 1 is related to 1.9, 1.9 is related to 2.8, but you only tell me whether 1 will be related with 2 point or not. No, that's why we can say that here if x belongs to, or we can say that x comma y belongs to relation R and y comma z belongs to relation R, then x comma z does not belongs to relation R, isn't it? That's why we can say that that is not transitive. So we pick one counter example, and based on that we can conclude that that is not transitive. So overall we can say that this relation is reflexive as well as symmetric but not transitive. So hence we can say that this relation is not an equivalence relation, not an equivalence relation, isn't it? Okay, next one, equivalence class. So we can say that if relation R is an equivalence relation on set A, then we can say that equivalence class for an element A belongs to set A can be defined as yes, equivalence class of A is equals to Y such that A is related to Y, isn't it? So we can say that that is equivalence class. So let us take one example. Yes, with the example it will be more clear to you guys. Let's say one equivalence relation is given an equivalence relation. Let's say a relation R is 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 3. On A, let's say set A is given that 1 2 3 4. Then question is, then find the equivalence class corresponding to each element. We can say that each element A belongs to set A. So how to find equivalence class for every element that belongs to set A? Yeah, so simply, yes, we can say that, let's say, yes, let's say, yes, equivalence class is represented with square brackets. So equivalence class of 1 is what? Here we can say that 1 is related with 1 and 1 is related with 2. So that these y values will be the answer. So we can say that 1 comma 2, that will be the equivalence class of 1. Similarly, let's say 2, equivalence class of 2. So we can say that here 2 is related with 2 as well as 2 is related with 1. So again we can say that 2 comma 1, that is the equivalence class of 2. Similarly, let's say that is 3. So 3 is related with 3 as well as 3 is related with 4. So equivalence class of 3 is 3 comma 4. And similarly, equivalence class of 4 is what we can say that 4 is related with 4 and 4 is related with 3. So again we can say that 4 comma 3. So these are the equivalence classes, isn't it? Now you can observe, yes, we can say that, yes, write down one note. Yes, we can say that, let's say, write down one note. We can say that the set of equivalence classes, the set of equivalence classes is called as quotient set. Quotient set, isn't it? Or we can say that it is, so we can say that quotient set of set A quotient set of, let's say, set A induced by, yes, one equivalence relation is represented with A by R. So what is A by R? We can say that A by R is equals to, yes, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, isn't it? So we can say that union of all these equivalence classes is known as what? Quotient set. And this quotient set is, we can say that this is the quotient set of set A induced by the equivalence relation R, isn't it? So that is, we can say that quotient set. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, next one. Yes, you only tell me guys. Now, yes, we will see the properties of equivalence relations. Properties of equivalence relation or equivalence class, sorry. Properties of equivalence class. Now you only tell me. Yes, we can observe from these classes, equivalence classes. Yes, you only tell me one belong to the equivalence class of one. 2 belongs to the equivalence class of 2, 3 belongs to the equivalence class of 3, 4 belongs to the equivalence class of 4. Why? Because these equivalence classes are defined for equivalence relations, and equivalence relations we can say that are reflexive, transitive as well as symmetric. So because of reflexivity we can say that ordered pairs like we can say that x comma x, that means self loops will be present. So if self loops are present, then we can say that guaranteed one will be related with one, two will be related with two, three will be related with three, and so on. That's why we can say that yes, every element we can say that yes, let's say x will belong to the equivalence class of x. I hope this one is clear to everyone. So first property we can write down, yes, A belongs to the equivalence class of A. Second property is what you only tell me. Yes, we can say that either any two equivalence classes are exactly same. Let's say these are exactly same. Yes or no? Or we can say that these are exactly same. Or we can say that let's say 2 and 3, these are disjoint. So we can say that any two equivalence classes will either be exactly same, or we can say that both will be the disjoint. For example, here equivalence class of 1 and 2 are exactly same, but equivalence classes of 2 and 3 are disjoint. Disjoint means intersection is phi, isn't it? So we can say that either equivalence class of A is exactly same is equals to exactly we can say that same as equivalence class of B, or we can say that equivalence class A intersection with equivalence class of B will be phi. That means either these are equal or we can say that disjoint. I hope this one is clear to everyone. For A comma B belongs to set of, or we can say that set A. Third one we can say that let's say third one, that is union of A belongs to capital A of all equivalence classes is set A, isn't it? So we can say that here union of all equivalence classes is equal to we can say that set A. So here we can say that our set was what? Yes, in this question our set A was what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we take the union of all these equivalence classes 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3. So we will get A only 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. So we can say that that's all about equivalence classes and equivalence relations. Isn't it? Okay. Okay, guys. So yes, we can do various questions based on this, and these equivalence classes are important, and the properties of equivalence classes are also important. You might seen these equivalence classes in the theory of computation as well, isn't it? So at various places you will see the equivalence class concept, isn't it? Okay, I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, thank you so much.